Hey everyone, this is Ahi from Ahiverse and welcome to Warehouse of Dreams episode 10. We have finally reached 10 episodes and this should have been like 10 months ago, I know that. But I'm so happy that we have not kicked the bucket yet. Not that it will ever be, because this is just a leisure event and I've been pretty consistent, I would say. I'm very happy to continue this and being regular with this posting and stuff like that. It's become a part of my routine now, weekly routine. So I'm pretty happy of the direction it is going. Not that I would want anything, it's just a leisure event. And yeah, so let's start with an update from the previous episode. I think I might have ducked a lot on Travis Scott for the incident. Of course, it's not his fault all alone. Like, what I mean is, the organizers are at a greater fault, obviously, but I think that I did not put more emphasis on it. By the way I was speaking, I feel I might have come off a little bit more attacking or on one person, but it's not just a one person thing, it's everything. And the entire ecosystem who organized this thing was at fault, definitely at fault. And I think I saw an update news that the final death toll is around 10 people who died, and it's terrible for everyone involved. It's terrible for the family. I hope my condolences, and I hope these things don't happen again and we all can learn from it and not to repeat it. We should be more responsible and keep all the people responsible and make them accountable, lawsuits and stuff. Okay, that being said, the other update of my life is there's another flooding. I'm not surprised. There's been a lot of rains and there's like a depression in the sea and stuff that's causing the rains. And it's November, it's almost halfway to November and we still have rains. The rains started since March. I mean, by that I don't mean like continuously raining, but these waves of random rains and heavy rains, which is happening because of depression in the sea and not just the seasonal rainings, monsoon. What I'm saying, rainings, seasonal rains, is just the random sudden emergence of depression in the sea, cyclones, which is definitely because climate change, and we are very quickly going towards a direction of, or a point of no return, and we have also kind of given up on everything. Haven't we? But just because we know that things are not gonna get better or it's not gonna work, that doesn't mean we should completely give up. We should still fight for it. We should still fight for the things that we believe in and what we believe what is right. So please be always aware of what we are doing and how it's gonna affect everything. It is very difficult to live like that. It's very difficult, I will say. If you're having a tough life, it will be difficult to think about others. It is difficult. It's not easy. Living life is not easy. Shockwave, right? What is this? Listen, first of all, I don't know how to speak, okay? Second of all, I don't care. I don't care enough to correct my speech, but still I'm doing this podcast stuff so I can somewhat speak like a normal human being. And what is that? Don't ask me. It's just that I just want to sound more legible and stuff and not sound like complete illiterate, which I am, by the way. Like, I don't read books, so that's already like a red flag of me being a terrible speaker. Yeah, sure. What was I talking about? I'm talking floods, right? Yeah. So there's a flooding situation. Luckily, the rains have stopped, so that's a huge sign of a relief. And Yeah, I feel like even if it's gonna flood my entire house, I don't want to move because of my puppies. There's like 3 puppies now. We had to give one away. That was so sad. That day was so sad. I really was feeling disheartened, and the mother obviously was very sad too. That day was pretty sad, and I lost my appetite since then. And I feel like I don't want to eat anymore. I don't know, man. I think it's just everything. It's acting up. The life, the climate, and everything. It's just making me feel so down that I don't want to eat food. That being said, please, still try to eat healthy, because that's all we can kind of, be responsible for being healthy. Kind of, I'm saying still kind of, because still there are a lot of things that can happen out of our control, and we have no choice but to accept it. Diseases. Oh God. I'm slurring my words for some reason, I don't know. Diseases are terrible, and many a times, sometimes it just comes out of nowhere, and it might feel like I did not do anything wrong and I still got a disease or this illness. That feels very harsh, and you kind of give up on everything. I mean, there's nothing we can do. It's just try to live. Yeah, I was gonna say try to live healthily, but yeah, all we can do is try to live. But even then, the puppies, I was talking about the puppies. So yeah, the puppies have been a beacon of hope in my life. They are like the one ray of sunshine that you get when you're at the rock bottom of a freaking tunnel or something. Tunnel? No, I meant well. It came out tunnel. I was meaning well. When you're at the rock bottom of a well and you find this tiny sunshine inside, and it's really like a beacon of hope. Yeah. The puppies are so cute, man. They're so fun. They play with you. That is so. They are very excited and very energetic, and playing with them also gives me energy. So a big change. I think that is one of the positive things that has happened this year. I'm so grateful for them. And that is also the reason why I don't want to leave. Because I don't want to leave because I don't think we can take them with us wherever we go. So all the doggos, all the doggies, the mother, the grandmothers, and the puppies. I mean, I really care for them a lot. To not leave this place. So that's I don't know how the expression goes, but yeah, that's an update. The water seems still, so that's a good sign. At least it's not rising up. I think, I'm not sure. Maybe I have to go and check it later to find it if it's rising or not. The dams are open. Luckily the rains are not there. But unfortunately, there's a news that there might be another depression in the sea, which might, wreak havoc, have thunderstorms and have heavy rains again, which can also increase the flooding. So that's one thing. I mean, it's gonna get worse everywhere. This is just what I'm seeing. I'm seeing this firsthand of climate change, right? This is not just one isolated event in the southern part of Kerala. I mean, in the western part of India, southwestern part of India, like southern part of India. It's gonna happen nearly everywhere now. This is gonna be common. Rains and untimely rains and heavy rains, flooding is gonna be common in the coming years. I mean, in many part of Europe also, I think there was flooding, like intense flooding. Maybe, I don't know. Coastal regions are pretty, effed up. They're gonna be effed up because the coast is the first thing that's gonna disappear when the sea level rise. They gave an estimate of like 20 years or something, 20 to 30 years. Mumbai, as we know it, will be underwater. That's one estimate. Well, even we don't need to wait for that. Just a heavy rain for 3 days and it's already going to be underwater. That's how terrible everywhere is. So there's nothing we can do about it. That's the worst part. As normal humans, there's nothing we can do about it much, but we can still try it. This is a very downer episode. And the next topic that I'm going to talk about is going to be more depressing now. Oh my god. Despite all this, okay, I have to say this. Despite all this, you know what's the most admirable, I don't know what to call it, admirable quality of being humans, or have admirable quality of human beings are, what is the fact that we are very adaptable. And it's pretty admiring and it's very endearing to see how quickly humans adapt to things, and it doesn't make you want to lose hope for humanity. It's really a positive that we are so adaptable. But one thing we have to keep in mind is that we should never forget some people, especially people who are in the elites kind of category. They tend to forget everything, and because one, they don't get affected by this, all the problems. The most they're gonna get affected by is the fact that their shipment is gonna be delayed, or their chicken this is so funny, their food stuff is not gonna be delivered as quickly. That's what the effect they're gonna face. So just take them chicken tenders and they will be like super chicken nuggets. Imagine if they don't get the chicken nuggets. This is just a reference to one of the popular things that these conservative people tend to love chicken nuggets or tenders more than anything. So if anything happens to those things, they will be very riled up. But we should always keep in mind of the people around us, and we have to think about everyone. We hope that we don't leave behind anyone in this trying to survive meta. Which segues to the next topic, metaverse. That's meta is like I referred to as in gaming before, but now it's just the metaverse and the Meta company. Did I talk about this, that Facebook changed the name to Meta? I think the day I recorded the last episode, that's when the announcement came, and I was so pissed off about it. Like, dude, and I could have had this in today's episode, but then I have to wait another week to talk about the stupidity. If any of you have grown up watching anime, you probably have come across Sword Art Online. It's very debated, I think. For me personally, I hate the anime because of the story and the characters. They are so annoying. I hate them. But the premise of the anime, or the premise of the anime is really cool. It's set in like there's a VR or augmented reality game that is an MMORPG, and if you wear the headset and you go to sleep and you're inside the game, like you feel everything as if it's happening in real life. Oh god, I feel lightheaded now. Why do I feel lightheaded? I don't know. So when I watched the anime, I was really so intrigued by the concept of being in the game 24/7, or just being in the game and feeling it as it's happening in real time. I'm feeling very lightheaded. I closed my eyes for speaking now. Oh god. Is it earthquake? It's not happening. I'm just feeling lightheaded. It's not earthquake, right? No, it's not earthquake. Nothing is moving. It's just my eyes. I feel very lightheaded. What the hell? I'm gonna drink water quickly. You guys should also drink water if you haven't. Well, if you don't drink water, you can also be hydrated, whatever way, like eating cucumbers or something. Why did I say that? So what I was talking about, yeah, the game. So yeah, I have always found it fascinating, and I would love to experience that firsthand. But that was 6 years ago. Was my age? That was 8 years ago. Wait, that's 8 to 9 years ago. This is not recent thing. So when I was 15, which is early teens, right? Yeah, teenage starts from 13, so you have like 7 years to be a teen. So it's early teens. Yeah, those times, I love the concept, and I love to be in, the metaverse. That time I did not know the name of it being called metaverse or something, but yeah. But then again, now I'm like 9 years older, and I have grown a lot, and faced life more, and had different cycles of things happening, and I understand that was a pretty not, I will not call it terrible, because terrible sounds too extreme, but it was a pretty bad idea to think about and think that being in the metaverse is the best thing ever. But I understand why I thought like that, because one, my life was terrible that time. My real life was very terrible, and I had no control over my own life because I was a teenager, right? So it felt like I was in a system I was put in, and I had no way to escape. So being in the metaverse, or that game like reality, is the only way I can live, because that's the only place where I can do whatever I want. So that's one possible reason why I love the idea of escaping into another game or another reality, which is simulated reality, whatever, and not living the real life, because I had a terrible life. But now that I have come my own control, now that I'm an adult, and listen, I'm so sorry to slur my words, speaking to not quickly, but also like jumbling my words. Sorry about that. I'll try to be more clear, and I try to speak a lot more slowly. So what I meant was that I already forgot what I was speaking, but I'll try to remember and speak more clearly. So I was having a terrible life. IRL life was terrible. So I wanted to escape in a world where I could be anything and do anything I want, and live as anything, and be whatever I want, right? But that, after coming across the ill effects of social media in general and all those things, social media have become a terrible place, because people in general feel miserable after being on social media. It has just become like a fact. Everyone knows this, okay? Everyone feels miserable after being on social media for a long time, and after you're done scrolling, you just feel more miserable, because one thing is, it's a coping mechanism, albeit not that great of a coping mechanism. But I do understand that even I did that, okay? Even I do that sometimes when I feel extremely bad my life. I mean, in real life, IRL, when I'm having like terrible episodes of all the illnesses, I just feel like doing nothing, and I feel miserable. I just go to social media and just scroll away all my problems, and then after coming out of the social media, I just feel more miserable, because you spend like hours wasting your time, quote unquote wasting your time on social media, scrolling and doing nothing, and you did not learn anything. You just became more angry at things, and you just feel overall bad. That's one way of social media many of us have probably used. Of course, you can use social media in a great way. That's a given. You can do anything in a bad way and a good way. That's just how it is, right? But what I mean is that one terrible aspect of social media is that it is, oh god, why am I slurring? one terrible aspect of social media is that it is designed to be addictive. Okay, so it's not the people who lack self-control or willpower, it's the entire system which is designed to be addictive, and it is designed to be constantly put into attention. I don't know what that means now. God, the way I spoke it just makes zero sense. So what I mean that it is designed to be addictive to the users, and it is working on the attention economy, right? The word of attention economy that is thrown everywhere. But it is true, the social media, all the social media platforms work on the attention economy. So the more you give attention, the more you're rewarded. Kind of rewarded. I mean, not rewarded essentially, but the dopamine mechanism in your brain is exploited by the design and how it is made into. As for creators, the more attention you get, the more reward you get. Like the attention economy, that's what I meant. The more attention you get rewarded. As for the consumers, though, they are in this loop or in this cycle of social media. You feel like, for example, I think I've read, as a meme I've seen this something. Yeah, you feel terrible after school or whatever, after work you feel terrible, you go onto social media, you spend hours, and then you feel terrible and you get off, and you then go back to social media again and feel more terrible. It's just a cycle of not getting better. Of course you can use it to feel better, you can curate that, and that's also the thing. People can curate their feed, but at the same time, the people who made the social media platforms can curate the feeds and show things that they want you to see. The algorithm stuff. It's kind of like people who made. Oh God, what happened now? Is that a big dog or is the puppy? Okay, I'll come in, okay? Let me just wait a minute. Okay, I'm back. There was another dog, so the mother thought that he would hurt her puppies. That's why she was hysteric. She was very kind of scared, barking. I was gonna say roaring, but then I remember it's a dog, so barking. That's what dogs do, right? They bark. Oof, oof. What I was talking about, I don't remember anything. A metaverse probably, right? So yeah. So yeah, social media. I was talking about social media. So similarly, like it took 10 years for us to realize how terrible social media became. I don't know. So it's similar. I'm thinking like within 10 years that metaverse might become an essential part of our, a social culture, and how social media was. That 10 years ago we would just think of it like a hobby or nothing. We just think that it's just just we posting shit, right? Then now if you want to open a business, you're probably going to open on Instagram. So you need a footing on the social media to do anything, like being a creator or musician, whatever. It has become not just part of our hobbies or leisure activities, it has become a legitimate platform to showcase or being a brand or business. Similarly, this will probably happen with metaverse, and in 10 years or so we will all be thinking about it as a normal part of a life. And just see in the past 2 years of pandemic, we can see that more people were living on social media, right? And it already exploited a lot of things, and inciting violence and stuff. It has become, the algorithm kind of became a very dangerous being, right? But at the same time, it is totally stupid too. So what I mean by that is that, yeah, metaverse could very well be, you know used for terrible things. You will be always plastered with ads. You just open up a game, or you're just in a metaverse world, and metaverse, and you are in a freaking meeting, and right outside you see a freaking ad. It's all advertisement. It's a very dystopian. I mean, every movie that you watched on metaverse and stuff, it has been like pretty dystopian, right? But that being said, I mean, there are some people saying that this could be just a failed tech thing. It will be in the compilation of one of the top 10 tech fails that you probably forgot that ever happened in 5 years, right? That could be a thing, or it could be like a social media thing, which everyone will be at the end of the day on metaverse in 10 years or something. Mr. Who's the Boss did a great video on it. I don't remember if I mentioned this before, but he did a great video on it. Do check it out. Yeah, so about that. So I would definitely kind of like 50-50, because one hand I feel like this is a terrible idea. We shouldn't do that, because we already know how terrible social media has become, right? But at the same time, I love metaverse. The concept of metaverse, at least, because it's a great escape. It's if you're thinking and treating it as a game, of course not not talking about being addicted to gaming and stuff like that, but just thinking about it as like a leisure activity. Or even if you're trying to be, making it as a business, like social media is, there are plenty of positive in that, because now you can start anything, and you could be selling your products all throughout the globe because of social media and internet globalization and stuff. And this is like metaverse is kind of one step further of social media. It's just creating the illusion that you're really in this world, right? It's gonna be great for some time, but then as everything, after time goes by, you will feel terrible after going in, because just thinking about how social media affects people's mood and mental health, just by looking at all the highlights on social media, they all already feel terrible about themselves. And this can already be highlighted or enhanced, or taken to a greater extent when it comes to metaverse. And being in metaverse, you can be anything you want, and then you'll start hating the real you, and a lot of more mental health issues just sprouts out, and it's just terrible at that point. But of course, I just hope that we did not get enough time to regulate things for social media, right? By regulating, I don't mean censorship. By regulating is like putting down proper laws to have, a better working of a system, right? So similarly, I wish that we could all come into agreements about certain things, and put out certain regulations of what is right and wrong on social media, or metaverse and stuff like that. And I feel like they copied my just kidding, cut that out. What I was thinking about it. I'm not gonna cut this out, but I'm gonna keep it. Who cares? I don't know where that come from. Of course it's a joke, but I feel like that might not be taken as a joke anyway. What was I talking about? Dude, I always forget what I was talking about like 2 minutes ago. What is this? I hate this. But we all know that it's gonna be addictive. It's gonna be a coping mechanism, one. And therefore it can be very addictive. And the same problems which social media already has. It's just gonna get highlighted, or by highlighted I mean like enhanced, not enhanced, just a lot more extent, I guess. So that's one thing. And what was the other point I wanted to talk about this? I forgot. Yeah, so that being said, we should be more careful, obviously, and where I have to be more on the lookout of what is happening on the developments and stuff. I find it really fascinating. Don't get me wrong. I wish that we can find a safer or better, systems for metaverse and stuff like that. And definitely need regulations, obviously. And that doesn't mean censorship. And people thinking that we are not being censored are kind of living in a fairy tale, because there is censorship right now. It's just very subtle, unless you're in some other countries, what I'm referring to. But it's not just in those countries. Censorship is everywhere. And yeah, we have to be very diligent about this thing. So yeah, I'm gonna learn more about metaverse and stuff, because it's kind of gonna be, I feel like this is gonna be the future of social media, or the next level of internet revolution or something. But at the same time, have you taken a look at VR, or have you experienced VR? It's not that great as of right now. VR makes you very makes you feel very terrible after using it. The way you're, obviously, I mean, for me, I can't even play computer games, on desktop games itself, because it makes me feel so disoriented, right? What did I say it as, bro? Disoriented after playing some games, especially first-person shooter. The camera movements really mess up my brain. So that being said, VR is also already like a terrible for me. But then again, if they're gonna work on this technology, obviously they're gonna work on it and make it more comfortable to our eyes and to our body and all this stuff. And there are people who are worrying that if you're always on the metaverse, we will not eat food. Yeah, there will be extreme cases of that. It is happening now without the metaverse. Like, you have people playing games for 2 days straight and dying. I don't know if they died on it, but they're having several, difficulties in their body function. That is happening, but those are extreme cases. Not everyone is gonna do that, because believe it or not, most people kind of have I'm not saying I have good support system, because most people don't have to deal with such issues. I'm saying most people in general, is that people, when they feel hungry, they get up and eat food. Okay, in general, people do that, or drink water. Yeah. And of course, just like social media and gaming in general, right? We should always remember to drink water, or stay hydrated, or eat food. I mean, this is coming from someone who has not eaten lunch since past 3 days or something. I don't know. I'm just not feeling to eat much. I don't know. I've skipped lunch the past 3 days because of no reason. I just don't feel like eating food that time. But then again, I have a heavy breakfast or something, you can say. It doesn't mean that I'm neglecting food, but it's just that I sometimes don't feel like it, and that's okay. But yeah, but I still take care of my food, and what I'm eating, trying to be more healthy, and I'm trying to eat more food. I'm really trying to eat more food, because I want to bulk up. I need muscles, protein. I'm trying to I need protein. Bro, I really need protein. I virtually eat no protein, and that pisses me off so much. With the flooding, I can't even buy anything. It's just terrible. Oh yeah, protein. I cannot believe that I became one of those people who always say protein. But I have become, so what? Protein is the future. Yeah, don't forget to eat your proteins, people. They are very important. And of course, that just goes hand in hand, like exercise. We should always exercise, not just for aesthetics, or trying to be healthy or something. Wait, I meant trying to be healthy. Yes, exercise works a lot. It helps a lot. in various areas. Of course, it's great for your body, but it also is great for your mental health. Yeah, but they're also, yeah, their obsession is that's another thing. In everything I'm saying, there's good way to do something and there's a bad way to do something. It just happens. It exists in everything. I don't know if this episode is very long. I think I should stop right now. I think it has become very long. So that being said, don't forget to drink water if you haven't already, or just stay hydrated. Eat healthy foods, exercise regularly. At least try to be, more moving or agile. I guess try to incorporate some movements. Maybe stretch right now. Just little stretchy. And if you're sitting for hours because of your job, don't forget to stand or just move every 30 minutes. It just resets, and it is great for your body too. So stretch, warm up, whatever, exercise. Yeah, that's all we can do. So even if metaverse comes, if you just have a healthy diet and you have good support system and exercise regularly, I don't think it's gonna be a big problem. Well, only time will tell what the future holds, and we are not gonna worry about it. Just one thing is that whether you like it or not, things are gonna be inevitable, and the only way you can cope with that is learning about all those things that are inevitable. God, my tongue just twists sometimes and I cannot speak properly. But whatever. I'm ending this now. So thank you for your existence, you amazing being. You're always welcome to the Warehouse of Dreams. Bye.